So, I don't know where to put you. You can either see me or you can see what I'm doing. I'm eating. It's a very good bread. This is the oatmeal bread. Oops. That's what it looks like inside. Isn't that good? I'll cut it for you, show you how nice it is. But it's quite moist, but it stays together, you know? And it's very yummy. So I'm warming up my honey and put it in the oven to melt it a bit. I don't want to microwave it. Oops. Low battery. Well, we might die again. Okay, so we're going to start. Here's the recipe. I'll show it to you and I'll read it to you. I did this already the other day, but I'm going to cook every time I cook. I'll put a video. 2.5 cups of oat flour. Now this recipe, it turns out pretty wet. It has to cook about an hour and a half. So I don't want to do that way. So I added an extra, maybe a quarter to a third of a cup of flour. So 2.5 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, soda, salt, same, half of the each, 3/4 cup of applesauce, 3/4 cup of soy or almond milk, but I'm using coconut milk, which is beautifully white. I put it in the fridge and it's kind of froze a bit of it, but it's really awesome. 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of oil, 1/4 cup of honey, and 1 cup of oats. Okay, now if you make the recipe this way, as I said, it's going to take longer to cook. So you can do that way and take longer to cook, or I added 1/2 cup of extra oat flour. And I know what bread is supposed to. Want some? It's mighty good. See what I mean? Okay, so 2.5 cups of oat powder. I got some new measuring spoons and measuring cups. Got my oatmeal in it for later. Okay, 2.5 cups oat flour, 2 teaspoons baking powder. I used to always have 1/8 of a teaspoon on here, but now they don't anymore. I guess people don't cook like they used to. Half a teaspoon of soda. This is 1 teaspoon. Hold on. 2.5 cups of oat flour. 2 teaspoons. This is a teaspoon, see? You should measure it, make sure how big it's going to look in your hand so that you don't need to have them, because you don't always have them. Sometimes they're dirty or in the sink or somebody ran off with it. So, soda. So we have 1 teaspoon, and 2 teaspoons, Now I put the baking soda away. If it's chunky, you should rub it in your hand. Salt, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Hold on, I just did a big mistake. I used baking soda, and I used 2 teaspoons of baking soda. That will ruin it. Should I start over? Should I start the video over? So we're going to take out all the flour that had baking powder on it. Okay, now we're probably down to almost not having added extra. Hope my worms in the worm bucket don't mind. I need to not pay attention to you. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Make sure it's baking powder and not baking soda. And this stuff doesn't generally clump up. Down here so you can see. This stuff doesn't usually clump up, so you don't really have to worry about it being lumpy. 1 teaspoon and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. You guys are so distracting. Okay. Now this could clump up in it, so you don't want clumps because then they don't taste good. So we're only putting in 1/2 baking soda and then 1/2 salt. Where'd the salt go? Here it is. 1/2 salt. You don't need salt if you don't like salt, but you know, it does help it taste good. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 of a cup of applesauce, unsweetened. This is my snack of choice. I am known to take the jar and drink it for a while, over a period of time. Use a knife, it works better if you don't have fingernails. Oh, plastic, plastic, plastic. Be glad to see the back of it one day. Especially the wrap they put on everything. I hope you're having a nice Thanksgiving today. As I said before, we don't have our Thanksgiving today. It's been a month or so ago. A month and 10 days. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as the amount that it says in the recipe. 3/4 of a cup of applesauce because I love applesauce. 1/2 and 1/4, which makes 3/4. 1/2. Oops, but we're not going to put the wet and the dry together. We could, I guess. I'll mix this up. Oh no! Oh no! Something tells me this is probably not a good day to do this. Just by the way it's gone so far. So, probably better to separate these. Oh, and I'm going to put them in a different bowl. I'll put my wet ingredients in here. I can't clean it up yet because I have to get rid of this first. 1/2 and 1/4 is 3/4. Okay. Now I can clean up my little mess here. According to my foot, that's not the only mess. Okay, it's a disaster here today. Just a disaster. I mean, I am the disaster. That's all the disaster that's here. Okay, applesauce now. 3/4 of a cup of almond milk. This is not almond milk, as I said before. This is coconut milk. 1/4 and 1/2. Should probably separate these, but then I'm going to lose them, and I'm sick of losing them all. There's 1/2. And then there's some clear stuff at the bottom. And this is sort of sticking a little bit in the container, so I'm going to do this to it. It's so much better to cook once the kitchen is clean first. Have you ever found that? Have you got your turkey in yet? Gotta get that turkey in early. Let it cook for hours and hours. Okay, 3/4 of a cup of coconut milk, and now 2 eggs. And a little space cabinet. But I did like the fire. 1, 2. Oh shoot! Oh, that one went bad. Oh crap! Oh man. Yes, today was not a good day to do this, was it? Say something encouraging, okay? Anybody, somebody out there had to throw it all away. All right, we'll start again. A rotten egg. I had a feeling, a little prompting that said, don't add the eggs to the stuff. And I thought, it'll be fine, it's always fine. But no, that was a rotten egg. Oh my gosh. It's gone. It's in there somewhere. Ugh. Don't look at rotten eggs. All right, we'll start again. So, we'll get another container, because I don't want to use that container. I'll use this container. I can do things differently. 3/4 of a cup of applesauce. A half. Plus a quarter. And we'll open another can of coconut milk. If we can find it, let's just check around here. You know, I only clean when you're there. So if it's, you know, between the last time you saw the place and now, it's just messier. Okay. Will you stick there? No. Nope. Get away. How come it's locked? Is it upside down? Now what's wrong? It's locked everywhere. Okay. Put you back down there again. We've got our applesauce. Now we're going to use 3/4 of a cup of soy milk. I mean, no, we're going to use coconut milk because I love the taste of coconut. So 3/4 is going to be, we'll clean out our containers with juice of it. Hi, okay, hopefully, yes, I guess this is still the same video. Sorry about that. So I was just putting the coconut milk in. Coconut milk is in, and then I broke the 2 eggs and put them in. Okay? So next we have 1/4 cup of oil. It doesn't really matter what kind of oil you like, but I have avocado oil, which I really like. Okay, 1/4 cup of avocado oil. You can't see me, and you can't see what I'm doing. No, my filming techniques are not what they used to be, are they? I'll have to stay way back, right? And then 1/4 cup of honey. As I said before, I put it in the oven to liquidate it a bit. Oh, this may be a case for Mr. Willem. Do I have that opener thing? I got this at my mom's house. It's a jar opener. See all those little teeth? Lefty loosey. Okay, hot water. Just like the olden days when my kitchen was a big, huge mess, eh? So we have to get... Come on, hot water, get hot. It's getting colder. Hello, all you patient people. I'm not really having a very good, successful time with all this stuff. I don't know what's wrong with me. Let's see if it warmed up now. Ah, it's getting warmer. Put a cloth on it. That's the thing with the cloth. Ah, that did it. Okay. heated it up and then used a cloth. Okay, so now we need to have a quarter cup of honey. If you've already got your oil in your measuring spoon thing, it's good, because that will make the honey all come out. Cooking shows are kind of weird. Like showing you that I'm pouring things in. It's kind of weird. Not liquidated enough. I'll get a spoon. Stuff around the edges would be liquid. And in it goes. And a little more can go in. If honey solidifies when it gets cool, that's good. That means it's honey. Okay, there we go. So that can go in here with the rest of it, and it all just comes right out. Just a little drop left. See how that comes out pretty clean? I don't know if you can see it. So much light reflecting everywhere. Okay. Okay. Put the lid back on tightly so that the ants won't want to come and get it. Okay, now what's the next thing? Now we mix them together. This and this are going to go together. Maybe I can put you there. I can, but then you can only see part of it. Okay, so whisk. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Because I did the dishes last time, the whisk works. Or you can use a mixer. But I would mix up this first. This is all your liquid stuff. It's easier to mix the liquid together and then add it to the dry. I know you get two dirty bowls, but it is what it is. And your oven should be at 350, and you're going to cook this anywhere from 55 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on how well it works. Or you can add more dry stuff. See, it does make quite a liquidy. Well, you can't see it, I know. Now, where's the spatula going? To where has the spatula gone? Good thing I have extras. I do have a video camera stand, but see, it's pretty liquidy. You see that? Which is why it's going to take a long time to cook. So if you don't want it to have to cook so long, you could add some more flour. But now we're supposed to add a cup of oats anyway. So here's the oats. And it's not quite a whole quarter, 3/4 of a cup, so I need some more. But I think I don't have any more in here in those kind of bags. Unless that is, no, that's potato chips. This feels heavy, is this it? Porridge oats, okay, here we go. And it's not open, so there won't be bugs in it. I hope. So we're just going to top up that, and we're going to add a little more because I don't want it to be so, so that thickened it up a bit. extra because I really don't like waiting. This looks like it's got some flaxseed in it, but flaxseed needs to be ground up or else it goes right through you. I don't know how baking affects it, but I think that's going to be better than the last batch. Let's get our pan now. And we will wipe it out. We don't have to wash it because it's nicely oiled. But I think it will put a little oil in anyway, because now that I wiped it out with a cloth. Just need a drop of oil. Okay, it's 10 drops. You're right. I hope you're having a good Thanksgiving. I wish I was having Thanksgiving. Okay, so here we go. Some people have suggested eliminating the applesauce or something. You can play around with it. Because the way it was invented was people played around with it. I'm playing around with it. Best not to get it on the side of the pan because it'll just burn. Okay, so here it is. This is at 350. So now we shall put it in. And we will set the timer this time for 1 hour. Timer of 55 minutes. 1, 2. Hold it down for a long time until it starts. 3, 4, 5, 6. It takes a long time. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh wait, why is it doing that? Oh, yeah. Now what's wrong with the timer? This is really getting to be a day. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, it was starting over after 10. It looked to start over after 11. Oh my gosh. This is definitely one of those days. My grandson called to play Minecraft, and then he wanted me to go in the nether where it was, you know, he wanted me to go out there and get his dogs, which fell out of our house. I made a beautiful palace, a yellow palace in the nether, which don't like the nether. Anyway, but he digs holes and he goes way down and he gets under the earth, under the game. And you look up and there's this sort of a checkerboard affair. Okay, so how are we going to do this then? Timer. I can put it in for 10. I wonder why it wasn't working. 8, 9, 10, 11, 1. Oh. Okay, I'll tell her to set a timer. Okay, Google, set a timer for 1 hour.
Sure, 1 hour.
Okay.
And that's starting now.
Starting now. Okay, so that's this. I've done this. I hope you liked it. It was rather frustrating and upsetting. Now I'll go do my dishes and clean the house. See you later. I think I'll just make videos. At least they'll keep me focused, if it does. Goodbye. Thanks for being here. Where's that off thing? Oh, there it is. Okay, you saw it here last. You can do this at home. Results may differ. Definitely.